Hey there, I'm Ian Douglas. I'm the author of the website techinterview.guide, and I'm here to help people with career advancement and interview preparation. My live stream on Twitch covers topics such as company research, how to build resumes and cover letters, applying for the job, getting through interviews, and what to do during negotiations. I've coached thousands and thousands of people over the years to get jobs at the biggest tech companies in the industry, and I'm here to help you too. The following episode is taken from a longer live stream event and may contain interactions with other people in chat. Check out the end of the episode for more information. Let's get to it. So Karanto asked a question, do you have any advice on phone screens? Are there any things that I should prep for or be aware of? It's a small company, so it'll probably be with a technical manager. Yeah, I agree. If it's a small enough company that they don't even have an HR team, you're going to be talking with a hiring manager right away. And typically in the States, that's around 40 employees, usually 50 or less. In the United States, as soon as a company hits 50 employees, they are subject to laws that smaller companies aren't held to. For example, if I were to join a company less than 50 people, I could be fired or let go for doing a job slowly. But as soon as that company reaches 50 people, anybody over the age of 40 becomes a protected class of citizen who can't be let go for doing a job slower than someone else. And so if I don't type as fast or I don't bag groceries as fast, if that company is more than 50 people, you can't fire me for doing my job slowly. If I'm doing the job and I'm qualified to do the job, you can't fire me for doing it slowly. Yeah, thanks for changing the lights up here, GND. So there are different things to account for there. So the fact that the company is small, yes, does mean that you're more likely to talk to a hiring manager, because until they get close to that 50-person size, they probably don't even have like an HR department. They may have like one person doing recruiting. When they start hitting like around 25, 30 people, that's when they're like, okay, well, if we're going to keep growing, we should hire HR and start standardizing on things. And so if it's a relatively small company, yeah, you're going to hear from a hiring manager first. That first, what I typically tell people about phone screens is you should always expect the conversation to get technical, but you do need to know who you're speaking with to know how technical you want to talk to them about things. Like, how deep do you want to go in that conversation as far as technical terminology? So if you know you're talking to the hiring manager for a role, expect to go really deep. Expect to talk about your projects, expect to talk about technologies, and that first phone call is probably going to be like a 30 to 45 minute call. If the very first company or the very first person at the company to contact you is HR or a recruiter, they're probably not technical, but never assume that. Should never assume that. And so you could, and that first phone call is typically only going to be like 10 to 15 minutes long. And it's just get to know you a little bit, scan through your resume, tell me some quick things about you. Why did you apply for the job? What salary expectation do you have? Okay, I'm going to like hand you off to the hiring manager and they'll contact you for next step kind of thing. And so if it's an HR recruiter phone screen, it's typically going to be much shorter. But like your question asked, it's probably going to be a hiring manager. So I would expect that phone call to be half hour, 45 minutes, and expect it to get technical. Expect to explain things that you've done at previous jobs or projects that you've done, technologies that you've worked with. And those questions could encompass anything from how does Python implement dictionaries in Python 3 differently than Python 2? Or, how does JavaScript, do such and such? Or, tell me about how you did such and such in this framework or that framework. And so those questions are going to get pretty technical. Always expect to be technical. They may surprise you and just say like, hey, we just want to like do a quick screening call, kind of hear about your background a little bit. And now that we know about you, we want to give you like this take-home assignment and actually watch you do some code or something like that. But I would always expect that first phone call to get technical if it's a hiring manager for sure. If you go subscribe to my email series, you can see some questions in there. Also, if you want to get in on the Dragon giveaway, go subscribe to that email series. We'll be drawing a winner today from that database, and we'll be drawing one more winner from that database on Tuesday for the last stream of the month for the giveaway. So if you want an additional opportunity, go subscribe, and it's a double opt-in from there. So those would be the first couple things I would think of. If you know that you're being phone screened by a hiring manager, I would do that. Also, the first phone call that you get, even if you do speak with an HR recruiter and they hand you off to that hiring manager for the next call, I would treat that call the same way that we're expecting this call to happen, where we expect the conversation to get very technical pretty early on. Thanks for checking that out. I hope that you found it helpful. I always appreciate feedback, so please let me know what you think. I appreciate any subscriptions, so please tell your friends and colleagues about it as well. Check out the website techinterview.guide for more information about when I'm live streaming and all of my free content. Drop by a live stream anytime to ask questions or message me privately, whatever makes you most comfortable. See you next time.